situation in Syria. We are following the dramatic events in the Syrian Arab Republic. As you know, our assessments were presented in the declaration of our ministry on the 8th of December, and I would like to stress that the unquestionable priority for us is the security of all the Russian citizens that are on the territory of the Syrian state, as well as the integrity of Russian facilities and missions, diplomatic, military, and others, including those that have anything to do with the work of national companies and organizations. There are no alternatives to respecting international legal norms that regulate the status and activity of Russian facilities on the territory of Syria, including Vienna Conventions. And I'll remind you that our diplomatic mission in Damascus continues its work, but in the conditions of very high risks and high threats to security. Now Syria starts a transition period, and the country will inevitably face new challenges, which is happening right before our eyes, and we stand in solidarity with the Syrian people. We have historically friendly relations, and we sincerely wish that the Syrian people will successfully overcome all the appearing challenges, difficulties, problems. We confirm our principled position supporting sovereignty, unity and territorial integrity of Syria. We are in favor of inclusive political process that will be established and that will be implemented by Syrians themselves through wide national dialogue according to the resolution of the UN Security Council 2254. And we have repeatedly spoken about that during all these years. It's important to take into account the interests of all ethnic and confessional groups of Syrian society. This is principled position of Russia. In today's situation that can be characterized as a political transition, one of the priority tasks is the preservance of Syrian state institutions and the implementation of their functions. And we urge all the involved parties to show responsibility.
Установлению безопасности и стабильности в стране.
Security and
фундаментальных норм.
Important to ensure rule of fundamental norms of law, to maintain law and order, to protect the rights of civilians and citizens, to ensure peace, national consent, to avoid any bloodshed or violence. We support coordination with the international regional partners in the UN in order to stabilize the situation in Syrian Republic as soon as possible. We also have contacts with the forces that are presented on the ground. We strongly recommend our citizens to take maximum precautions and to avoid crowded places. All our recommendations about not visiting Syria are in force. Of course, we receive a lot of questions from the media, from Russian and foreign, from the citizens of our country about assessments of the situation in Syria, about the causes and prerequisites of what is happening there, participation of external factors and forces, the role of internal actors. And I would like to draw your attention to what I said in the beginning, that the priority for us today is ensuring security of Russian citizens and integrity of Russian facilities. As for assessing the situation in the country, we are closely following the scenario that is happening there, and we shall proceed from the real situation on the ground and acting based upon this, and will qualify these actions based on that. And we think that it's important now for the whole world community to refrain from any provocative statements, provocative rhetoric that can affect negatively the situation in the country.